We are live here on Talk Talk Live. Thank you for joining me on the second night of Talk Talk Live this week. Going on about about the subject of how Andrew Tate owned feminism. Thank you for joining me on Talk Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And again, if you like the content, do support us with a super thanks. Do support us with a super thanks. Do support us with a donation. That would be nice as well. But happy holidays again to you all. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Talk Live. Yes, we are back. We are back. We are back again for night number 2. Now, breaking news. Breaking news tonight. I just got it just about a half hour before I went to air. It seems that the Red Pill Messiah, Mr. Tate, has been arrested. Yes, he has. Mr. Tate has been arrested. Let me just carry him around here. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Yes, Mr. Tate has been arrested. Mr. Tate has been arrested. Let me just turn this around just that little bit. There we go. Yeah, Mr. Tate has been arrested as of tonight. Just moving over. Here we go. On charges of human trafficking. It seems like the charges that he has that were laid upon him in March of this year have been investigated, and now Mr. Tate has been formally charged with human trafficking, and again, he is to be prosecuted by the courts in Romania. So again, that is breaking news. That is breaking news, people. So I have, before we start the show and get into the other parts of Mr. Tate's interview with Just Pearly Things and Brittany Renner, we are going to get into the conversation where, let me just make sure that's in, okay, and that's in there, okay. So we're just going to get into the commentary of Mr. Tate and how indeed he has how he's been arrested. So I have this. Yes, we're going to get into it. I have this post by Abram Preach of how police raided into Mr. Tate's compound in Romania, and how indeed it has been reported that Mr. Tate has been charged with human trafficking. So here we go. It's just a short video. We're just going to play it out, and then we're going to get back into our conversation on Andrew Tate versus feminism. Let it go.
Andrew Tate on Romania got arrested, and his brother as well. So if you guys remember back in April, there were human trafficking charges such against Andrew Tate for supposedly holding captive 2 women, one Romanian and one American woman. They both tell different sides. The woman claims that she was held there against her will by the Tate brothers, and she was allowed to leave. And her boyfriend called the embassy, which makes you wonder, like, what is she doing out there? Who knows? We don't know. Okay? Well, she claims that she was held. She contacted her boyfriend, or somebody was watching the live stream. That's how. And they called the police. The Tates say, no, this girl flew in. Tristan was the one that was talking to her, and essentially through conversations, she ended up flying out to Romania to party, and then they kept her. She went over there, and based off the CCTV footage that they have inside, they claim that she was free to leave and she could go at any time. Romanian police released them after the April 11 stuff. We don't hear any more about this. And fast forward to today, and they've charged them, which means that after an investigation, things have shifted.
Controversial influencer Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan are arrested in Romania as part of a human trafficking probe. News broke late Thursday evening by BNO News that the pair were arrested on December 29th. Now this news comes just hours after Tate made waves with climate activist Greta Thunberg going back and forth on Twitter about carbon dioxide emitting cars. Tate, who had previously been kicked off social media platforms for so-called misogyny and hateful ideations, had also made news last month. As Long Crime Network's Sidebar reported, he sued YouTuber Ethan Klein after Klein called him a sex trafficker. Now, at the time, Tate's attorneys sent Klein a cease and desist order. Some reports now say Romanian officials
people speculate that it's because he's had his little spat with Greta Thunberg on Twitter, and it's made news coverage all over the world that the Romanian government sent the police after him. Other folks say it's because of the investigation. Hard to say. I would wager that I would think the Romanian police would go after him because of a bunch of tweets about Greta. So likely,
but it's because of one of the videos. They knew he was in Romania because in one of the videos that he did to address Greta, there was a pizza box. That's where he's from Romania, so they're like, oh, this motherfucker home. But that's what
they're going to know anyways. You can't come in and out of Romania through passports and through airports without that. If they want to find you in the EU, they're going to find you. And it wasn't like he was hard to find. He was in the UK doing interviews. He was all over Europe doing stuff. So like, if they want to find him, they don't need to see a pizza box to find him. You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Well, listen, right now information is sparse out there. I think some people who believe he's a human trafficker and all these things are going to jump for joy. They want to see him down. And look, at the end of the day, these charges are true. Yeah, throw the book at him. I don't care. Somebody's holding people hostage or holding people against their will, whatever the punishment is in Romania. You wanted to go there to get away from the law in the UK. Whatever the law is in Romania, you got to live by that, right? However, if it isn't true, and this is just some kind of smear campaign or some other bullshit, then that'll be very disappointing. Because I think trying to cancel someone for an influence that you deem as extremely detrimental by using the law. We've seen that a few times already, and I just don't think that. I haven't.
So we're going to leave it there. Yes, hello, and thank you for joining me on Talk Talk Live. We are just reporting that Mr. Tate has, Andrew Tate has just been charged as of this evening, or yesterday, or probably this evening, with human trafficking. Charges that were on his record beforehand. Accusations that were there on the books before today. I think they revealed themselves in March of 2022. I again have reported this earlier on Talk Talk Live on an earlier broadcast. And yes, I look for the yes. Hello, Chanel. I look for the video. I can't see it. If you can DM it, I will DM it to you later. I will DM it to you later. What video is this actually, Chanel? Do let me know. So, yes, if it's the one for Andrew Tate, then Andrew Tate's video should be in the archives of Talk Talk Live. Both the Instagram video and also the YouTube video. They should be on the page. So do look that up. But just let me know what video you're referring to, if indeed that is the one that you were talking about. But yes. So Mr. Tate's been charged in Romania, formally on human trafficking charges. Again, he, as was stated here by Abba and Preach previously on Talk Talk Live. Thank you for Abba and Preach. Do sign up to them. They are fantastic, YouTubers, and yeah, they are extremely successful and quite entertaining. So again, do subscribe to them. But yeah, Mr. Tate was again going back and forth with Greta Thunberg, the environmentalist. About his environmental usage, and the one about the one about men with convictions. The one about men with convictions. Which you mean? Do you mean Andrew Tate there, Chanel? Do let me know. If it's Andrew Tate, then I'm wondering what the men with convictions are. I am just getting a bit foggy there, but yes. So he had a back and forth with Greta Thunberg just for the last couple days on IG, I think on Twitter, just regarding Mr. Tate's 33 cars, and how he doesn't feel they're being detrimental to the environment at all. And Greta Thunberg had a back and forth with him, and in terms of the lack of threat of his usage of vehicles, his usage of his private jet, in order to get around and diffuse the environment. In other words, Andrew Tate was thinking that this was a hoax, this whole environmental issue, and again, developed by the quote-unquote Matrix. And so what I believe Preach was alluding, I believe Abba was alluding to, was the fact that Mr. Preach. What I was alluding to was the fact that Mr. Tate is being canceled maybe because of these charges are true. If that's the case, then he has to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. But if not, then it could be for two other reasons. Not only for the back and forth that we have with Greta Thunberg, which is fine, but his influence on social media and in pop culture, and how quote unquote dangerous his voice is, because there are a group of men who are awakening to his views and are taking a liking to it. But also, it also could be silenced because, again, he has a very staunch views on feminism and to its downfall, which I believe is are quite fruitful, and to that extent, Mr. Tate has decided to be silenced because and through these charges he's been that is the aim and goal of things. And again, so we have to wait until the prosecution is completed and he has due process in Romania's courts on these charges. But again, this can be again seen as a way to silence Andrew Tate and his message, which in and of itself is quite. If you go into the post put up by Aberrant Preach tonight, Andrew Tate have been, if you didn't know his background, Andrew Tate was canceled on social media. He's not on Twitter, he's not on Instagram, he's not on YouTube, he's not on any major platform, not on TikTok, on any major platform. He can't post there because he's been shut down. But he is on Rumble. He is on Rumble, which is a new online package, which is an alternative to YouTube. And quite simply, he has gained greater life from there. They tried to silence him before. Now he's an even bigger and more popular individual in popular media and pop culture than ever before. And this is another way of trying to shut down his message, which again is quite simply it was shameless. Let's face facts. It is shameless, and to the extent that a lot of huge groups are trying to do is they're trying to silence men and their voice in this day and age, which is a shame. However, this is what's going on, and if you're a prominent voice out there, they'll try and shut you down. They will try and shut you down, and this is one way to doing it. Now, again, this is that is if indeed these charges are true, then he has to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. If not, then it's a shame. And not only that, as Aberrant Preacher saying, now he'll become an even bigger star. Now he'll have an even bigger influence on pop culture, and it is a shame that things had to go to that extent, but such a things that the quote unquote matrix, quote unquote powers that be, want to shut this guy down because his voice is quite prominent in pop culture and in the mainstream and in mainstream culture, and they can't tolerate it. They can't put that out there because it is they see him as a threat to women, which is not indeed, that has never been the case. It has never ever been the case. However, they see him women's groups see him as a threat because he's telling men, he's awakening men to these certain ideas about about traditional roles, and it basically goes against feminism. It goes against feminist ideals, which to a certain extent, men should be feminists for the most part. As I stated before, feminists are the whole feminist movement is propped by men creating a state, creating a society, creating a democracy, creating a environment in which feminism can thrive, which is a free and democratic society. If men decided to turn down said ideas, then feminism falls, unfortunately. But ideas like Andrew Tate's are not exactly best suited for feminism, so his voice is seen as a threat and in which to be silenced. That's the reason why they took him off social media. That's mainly, I think, the reason why they took him off social media was the fact that he had anti-feminist views or views that are pro-manosphere and pro-traditional traditional ideas. And this is another way of doing it. And since they shut him down there, he's only gotten larger and larger, and I think his scope has grown bigger and bigger. And the fact that his interview, as we'll go into now, with Just Pearly Things just hit about 2 or 3 million views only in a matter of days is another reason why his influence is only getting bigger and better. So they want it to, they're going to use every avenue in which to shut him down. So we're going to get back into it. But again, the reason why I wear the Selecau's kit today is because I didn't bring it up at the beginning of the show, is the fact that, Edson Arantes de Nascimento, a.k.a. Pele, died today. And, condolences to who I think and who many think is the greatest footballer of all time, who was, a world-class, a all-time classic talent in the world of football. And he died of colon cancer today, so do say a prayer to for his family. And I dedicate the show to him today. So, we are going to get on with the show. So, with the backdrop of Mr. Tate being charged on human trafficking today, we go back to the show that is again making him famous, the show that is putting him back on the map, which is his interview with Just Pearly Things. Now, Just Pearly Things has been demonetized for that show, meaning she's not earning any money from the show. She's earning notoriety. She's getting subscribers, but she's not getting money in and of itself from the show itself, because again, it's been seen as dangerous by feminists everywhere, and that sort of idea cannot be monetized or get out there. So we are here today to move on with the discussion. So thank you for joining me on Talk Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Sponsored by Done Talk. Not exactly Done Talk today because I'm wearing the Selecau's kit today. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Season greetings. Happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah to you and yours. I hope your holidays are going well, and you're out there for those Boxing Day sales. I haven't been out to the Boxing Day sales yet. Let me know how you're doing on those Boxing Day sales. I haven't done it yet. I should be in the next couple of days or so. And, let me see if there are any bargains out there. Although I have one place I would like to go. One place. But it's, to see if indeed I can get a bit of clothing at some value prices. Just saying. So, we're going to move on. Thank you very much to Avid and Preach for reporting that news of Mr. Tate's arrest. And we're going to move back into the conversation that we have had going on for the longest time here. That started yesterday and continues to today. And again, it's the second part of how Andrew Tate owned feminism. I mean, he was sitting on a panel with Just Pearly Things on Christmas Day, and had a frank discussion on feminist and modern women and dating views, to which he answered quite eloquently and quite cogently, to be fair. So we're gonna get into this next bit of conversation here, and we're going to discuss what happens when feminism breaks down. So we're gonna go to the browser. Oh, I didn't get the browser on, unfortunately, and well, there you go. So we didn't hear from before, but again, we're going to get on to it now. Thank you for joining me on Talk Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So we're getting to the meat and potatoes of the show. So here we go. Yes, indeed. So let me just grab this here. Let me see, 153. So what happens when feminism breaks down? So here's the thing. As I was saying to you yesterday, Andrew let the ladies know on the show that indeed feminism is in a movement that thrives on prosperity, that thrives on democracy, that thrives in a in an economy which is prospering, quite simply. And without it, then men fall into traditional roles, ladies fall into traditional roles, and I guess the same can be said about the LGBTQ2S societies and such. If you don't have a religious, if you don't live in a religiously conservative society, if you don't live in a poverty-stricken or developing society, then such ideals are thwarted to a certain extent because men fall into traditional roles in order to survive. But in democracies such as ours, which have had a long road of success, a track record of success, you're going to have views such as feminism, views such as advocacy for LGBTQS societies thrive. So, but what Mr. Tate's going to explain is the fact that feminism breaks down in societies where these, certain pillars are absent. Pillars such as a democracy, pillars such as a free market society, pillars such as a frank and free and just court system. All these societies in which there is a top and a middle class that allows for certain views to thrive, and there is peacetime in these societies. That's the main thing I was going for. So again, we're going to get into this. Thank you for joining me on Talk Live again. So I am going to go back to this. Let me see here. We're at about 153, 151. There we go.
Right, so it's not about what could be done, it's about what will be done. So once women hit a certain status of man, I don't think women are stupid. I actually argue the fact that women...
Sorry, we just miscued that. Just give me 1 second and let me get it up to where it's supposed to be. Here we go. There we go.
The values of the West are spreading.
What values?
So sorry, I'm misspoke. I mean, like, the ideas of the West. Like, I've just gotten, like, I get messages from people, like, from all over, and, like, in places like India, I've heard feminism is spreading there. Like, I've heard that. Do you not find that to be true?
So firstly, the West has no value. The only thing the West seems to defend fervently is LGBT. I won't say anything about it. I'm wrong. I'm just saying it's the only thing that they'll stand up and fight for. I don't know why. It's weird. Like, they don't care about anything else. They don't care about children going without child support. They don't care about people dying in wars. They don't care about our parents being in parent homes. They don't care about crime. They don't care about no be able to pay their energy bills. They don't care about nothing. But they give a shit for some reason about this one thing, and they'll fucking throw the flag all around the world. That's all they care about. It's fucking strange. That's the first thing about that values of the West. Second thing.
Very true point. And it was witnessed at the World Cup. Literally, I'm wearing the Selecão's kit. I'm wearing the Brazil's kit. If you didn't know what this is, and it brings me back to what Mr. Tate has to say, which can be seen as very controversial in the fact that the only thing of the West the only ideal of the West that is spreading at this point is or the rest will fight for are LGBTQ2S rights at the moment. There is and also feminine to a certain extent. But again, the one thing that they would like to travel, the one thing they would like to carry, especially into a place like Qatar, and also religiously conservative areas, are LGBTQ2S rights. Don't mind the kafala system that in which many a poor person died because they were constructing World Cup stadiums in heated conditions, in deplorable conditions. So don't worry about that. What we want to worry about is having sex in places in which it was seen as haram, in places in which it was forbidden to have sex in these areas. That's the main thing. That's the one thing that we need to hold up for perpetuity. We need to make sure that LGBTQ2S rights are protected in these areas. Forget about the kafala system. Forget about those who died. And Andrew Tate put it bluntly. It's the reason why this is so protected is so that people can have sex. Anybody can have sex anywhere. And he says, and he calls it. He says that that's pretty silly. Why would you fight when the laws of the land are clearly marked that, you know, if you want to, you know, insist upon your gay rights, you may do so, but do so in private. I don't see anything wrong. Again, these are their customs, but such customs are silenced when such customs and ideals are silenced when, you know, when developed countries bring it to another place, which is, you know, just basically basically backhanding and treating the ideals of another country as second class, which is stunning. Literally stunning. But again, this is what happened at the World Cup. This is what happened. There was more outrage about LGBTQ2S rights except outside of the kafala system, which is stunning. Absolutely stunning. But there you go. But Mr. Tate continues. We go on.
The harder society and the harder the life is as a whole, the longer it's going to take for feminism to spread. Feminism only exists in a vacuum of an easy life. If you're living in a society like India where life is hard, feminism disappears because the harder life is, the closer people naturally revert to their gender roles. If you got a bunch of 10 men, 10 women stranded on a desert island, and they had to survive, very quickly the men would do men shit and the women would do women shit. There'd be very little talk about feminism and equality, and all that shit would fucking vanish when shit hits the fan, right? So, in countries where life is harder, feminism can't take hold because feminism only exists in a vacuum of a very privileged life. I'm sure there's some kid in India who didn't get laid off some chick and he's complaining she's a feminist. There's a bunch of dumb shit, right? But I think the world is going to get a lot harder. I think the world is cyclical. I think it's been easy for a while. I think hard times are coming. And when hard times come, people are going to naturally revert to what gives them the highest chance of survival, which is gender roles, right? I have the best chance of survival being a man, and a woman has the best chance of survival being a woman. That's how the shit's going to function.
Do you think women typically...
Good point. We just heard it there from Andrew Tate himself, is that feminism thrives in an environment in which there is prosperity, in which there is democracy, in which there are in a democracy, in where there are free courts, in where there is a right to free speech, in which these qualities, in which these ideals are upheld to their maximum, then feminism can thrive. But in times of war, times of strife, times of struggle, which hasn't happened here in many a year, although to a certain extent we got a taste of it through COVID, we got a taste of it through the SNL crisis, a slight taste, but it wasn't to the extent where it was a depression. It wasn't to an extent where there was war and famine within North America and in the developed world. And in those cases, then feminism can indeed thrive. They can indeed thrive. Women can assert their right to equality. Absolutely. However, when those ideals are taken away, then people have to revert to their designated gender roles, which is in and of itself the truth. I mean, when there was a Great Depression, you didn't hear about feminism back then. But then again, times were, these were times in which, most people weren't living at a prosperous level as they are right now. I think now these are the days where prosperity is truly at an all-time high, and it allows for feminist / LGBTQ2S rights to be advocated and pushed for the most part. But without them, then and times are hard, times are rough, as he was saying, in places such as places such as India, in the developed world, such as Africa, in developing world, such as Africa and India, in South America. You don't hear a lot about feminism. You don't hear a lot about LGBTQ2S rights, do you? No, you don't. You don't, because they're busy trying to survive than trying to thrive within such societies. Because so again, he's absolutely correct. You're not going to have feminism be at the forefront of people's minds in places in which there is war, strife, and conflict, and simply hard times. You're not going to get that. Let it continue.
You're happier as housewives rather than a career.
Well,
Depends on the career.
no.
Depends on the man.
The answer is absolutely not really yes, because giving life is the most beautiful thing a female could do. That's what you evolved to do. That's the thing that men cannot do. I think that women who focus on having children and do their best to be good mothers in the end are the happiest females on the planet.
Being a mother, being a housewife is kind of different.
Okay, no, but it's essentially the same thing. If you're a housewife long enough, I'm going to assume you're going to end up having children. And I think that the sooner a woman has children, the better. If she can find a good man and have a child, that's a fantastic thing. I think it's a beautiful thing. And I don't see the point in a woman slaving away for a corporation that doesn't care about her, as opposed to slaving away for her own flesh and blood. I think that's a complete waste of a life. I think if men are already doing that, why would you want to go along and do that as well?
Because why is not just slaving away for a corporation? A career can involve a million different things.
Well, that's exactly what a career is. It's slaving away for a corporation that doesn't care about you. I understand you have to pay the bills, and I understand you don't want to be completely sufficient. You don't want to be self-sufficient. You don't want to be dependent on a man. I understand all that. But in an idealistic scenario, in a vacuum of ideology, if you could sit and be a woman and focus on having children or focus on doing a job, I think on a long enough time scale, you'd be much happier with your progeny as opposed to working a job.
Can I ask you a question? Because I feel like we talk a lot about hoes, we talk about a lot of the extreme. There's a lot of gray matter in the middle.
Sure.
Okay, well, she's going to get into her own love connection and trying to establish that being Denalva. Denalva is regular on Just Pearly Things, and anyway, she is an acquired taste, to say the least. However, she's going to put forward her views of having to of trying to find a man for her. However, that is going to be very tough going forward, to say the least. Anyways, yes, indeed. So we're going to move on to the final subject of how Andrew Tate owned feminism on the Just Pearly Things podcast that happened on Christmas Day. And that is involving how sexual freedom and feminism cannot be reversed in the eyes of men. So, Andrew Tate believes that sexual freedom of women and feminism were things that, even though men had to have created by proxy, because of the fact that they indeed created a society that allowed these things to thrive. The fact of the matter is, sexual freedom and feminism cannot be reversed in the eyes of men. Basically, this is the point of Brittany Renner, in that she's stating that her sexual freedom should be heralded and not defiled, and not looked down upon by the men of the species, by men. And so her sexual freedom should be seen as a way forward for women. But again, as I've stated previously and now, men never signed up to that. Men never agreed to that. Men have always seen purity and virginity as being the highest height a woman can reach in the eyes of men. Being a woman to which no man outside of the one man that she has built a relationship and / marriage, that is the highest ideal that a woman can strive for. And you know what? That's the one thing that Andrew Tate has preached. Now, again, in such society, we know that sexual freedom has been attached to most, if not all, women, and we have and women have body counts as high as they may be, and men cannot speak against it for the most part, especially if they are of a certain level of economic success. However, it's feminism and sexual freedom is seen as being heralded. So therefore, as has been stated earlier and previously, women having two boyfriends, or women having a high body count, these are what women will have men believe are things of virtue and things that should be celebrated on the in the minds of men and on behalf of men. But again, men have not adhered to these rules. Men have never adhered to these ideologies. So as much as women would like to say that, they should be able to go forth and seek as many partners as possible, men have always seen that as being a detriment to one's standing in the eyes of men. So we're gonna go into that discussion, and we're going to break it down as we go forward here. Thank you for joining me on Talk Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. So we're going to get into this right now and go into discussion, because this is where, indeed, Brittany Renner makes her point. This is where she makes her final stand, her final argument, because this is what she's always stood upon. This is where, this is the reason why she went on Instagram. This is the reason why she had multiple sexual partners of high standing, of high earning, is to not only find a man of said wealth through her looks, but also to profit of said ideology. She's seen as the voice of a new generation, the voice of 304s, the voice of the good time girls, the voice of the bit of fun, the voice of the city girls. So we're going to get into that, and we're going to discuss how indeed that is seen in the eyes of men right now. So bear with me one moment. We're going to cue this up and getting ready and get it going. There we go. There it is.
To that, because I love everything we're talking about. Okay, so to all the viewers out there, including myself, right? You live life. There's gray area. You live and you fucking learn, right? So where the fuck do we go from here? So do I play the shame game where everybody walks away a fucking loser? Because I can do that. I beat myself up my entire life for every decision I've ever made, right? It got me nowhere. So I value myself. I see the world differently through a series of events, right? So what the fuck comes next? Because that's where I'm confused, right? Because I'm not, it's like, if you don't, if it's not like gifted to you, like even in your situation, like your dad provided you a life that like so many people would kill for, like, you know what I mean? So that's why it's like, it sucks, because the reason I hate these conversations is because it's never about like empathy. Do I understand the scales and how someone may view for this, that, and the third? Okay, but moving forward, then what? So, okay, so I'm just gonna, like I said, make it about myself. I'm 30, single, mom. My fucking checkered past is all over Instagram. You know what I mean? I have people like you, she's a hoe, she's this, she's literally known for this. Okay, so what would be your advice to people like me then?
So again, let's get into that now. As she said, this is all these wounds are self-inflicted. Brittany Renner has put herself out there as the known call girl to the stars, or known girlfriend to the stars, known partner to the stars, because as she said, she grew up in a life in Cedar Springs, Mississippi that was not exactly of great standing. And she is, so she decided that she would go to college, yes, but however, she moved to LA. She moved around circles where these men were located. She tried to sleep with them and move her way up through her conquests, her sexual conquest, to the man in which she wanted, and ultimately to marriage and high value living. So it wasn't on the back of her own effort. It was not through her own blood, sweat, and tears. She tried to make her looks pay. She tried to make her looks pay. And because of that, she thought that, that she should be able to profit. She said, listen, so basically she said, I slept with all these guys. I've taken the rough with the smooth. I've had certain relationships. I promoted myself on Instagram. Where is my payoff? When is it a time when I can profit from my exploits? When's the day when I can profit from my exploits? Well, Brittany, that day will never come because, again, well, it may come. It may come. No, let me give her that sort of gray area she's talking about. It may come. There may be a prince that may come your way and allow you and allow for you to be a part of his life, be a high value man to be a part of his life. But more than likely, it will come from an average dude, a guy who will worship you and love you for who you are as you wish to be. However, because again, high value men, recognize status. They recognize the work they have done in order to succeed in life. And because the fact that, Ms. Renner decided to sleep her way to the top, or sleep his way to as high a position as possible, pardon the pun, she should be allowed to do that. However, when the thing about it, ladies, and we've explained it before on Talk Live, and I'll explain it to you now. Once you have a reputation of a hoe, once you have a reputation of being a good time girl, once you have a reputation of being a side chick, it stays with you. And it does nothing for a man's status at all. No man wants to be associated with a girl with a high body count, and a known one at that. No guy wants to be associated with that. Ask any man. No man wants to be associated with the neighborhood hoe, the girl or the good time girl, or one who's got around over time. No man wants that. None. They don't want any piece of that. They don't want any part of it. So, the dreams of Ms. Renner were dashed. Because, again, her ex, PJ Washington, read the whole facts, saw that she had these exploits, saw her book, Judge This Cover, saw her book, realized that she was a known hoe. Men reminded her that, listen, she's a known hoe. You're going home with a known hoe, right? See, this is the thing that women are not privy to, these sort of conversations. These are men conversations. These are male discussions. Women pretty much will never be a part of these things unless you're, family or significant other, to which you are privy. But ladies, you'll never be a part of these types of conversations. These are closed discussions between men. And a woman to think that she could change the minds of men through these sort of discussions and change minds and change the direction of those discussions is living a lie. It's living a lie. Simple, plain, to the point. Because men will never value body usage of different partners with a woman. And if you're a known purveyor of the sexual arts, you will not be recognized by manhood, especially high value men, because that lowers their status. And if you lower your status, then no man wants to be associated with you. If you raise the status, then and only then could that be possible. So again, Brittany will have to, as will be explained, Brittany will have to live a life of simply, catering to her man, be he high value or not, in order to stay in a position in which she wants to be in. And she makes it abundantly clear, as will be heard in the next couple minutes, which side of the track she wants to be on at the end of the day. Let's continue.
Okay, well, that's unfortunate because there's
that because I just think there's going to be consequences for putting, you know, promiscuous stuff on the internet. Okay. And you probably won't get the type of guy that you could have got at 22.
You know what, sister? It wasn't meant to be that. You know what I'm telling you? I would say, because I'm 30 and I'm single.
So, what can be made? What can be made of that comment? Let's replay that one more time. Let me just replay that one more time for you.
Single mom. My fucking checker pass is all over Instagram. You know what I mean? I have people like you. She's a hoe. She's literally known for this. Okay. So what would be your advice to people like me then? That's a big play area. Okay, well that's unfortunate because there's gray. You know what? I'll tell you what. There's gray. There's gray.
You know what? To answer, wait, I'm gonna answer. I mean, I just think there's consequences for your decisions, and I just think like my best advice would be like lower your standards, like that, because I just think there's gonna be consequences for putting, you know, promiscuous stuff on the internet. Okay. And you probably won't get the type of guy that you could have got at 22.
You know what, sister? It wasn't meant to be that. You know what I'll tell you?
See, that little comment, you may have missed it, but she asked one little comment. It's clear she has a goal in mind with her activities, her sexual activities, her life activities, and that is to marry a high value man. That's first and foremost. That's first and foremost, because she answered it right there. Just pretty things. I just said maybe you need to lower your standards. Maybe you need to select an ordinary guy who will love you, who will worship you for who you are. And she said that can never be. She literally said that is unfortunate. She could never fall in line for a ordinary dude. Couldn't do it. The last time she did it was in college, and she swore she would never do it again. She swore she would never do it again. Never. And the fact that was seen as an alternative was frowned upon, literally frowned upon by Brittany. She said, "Oh, well, I guess it wasn't meant to be." Meaning, love will not find her unless it's with a high value man. But she doesn't understand. So it's hardwired in her brain that unless a high value man comes to be that paramour, be that potential husband in her life, she doesn't want any part of men. She doesn't want any part of them. None. She'd rather be a side chick to a baller than the wife to an ordinary guy. She said it. Literally said it. And that is the truth for so many of her generation. Millennials and zennials have all said they'd rather be a side chick to a rich dude than the main chick to an ordinary guy. There it is. Nothing more can be said. But again, and if that's the case, then she'll live a life of loneliness, quite simply. But again, you never say never, okay? But that's what she's going to be known for. If that's her target, then no man wants to be associated with her. Again, follow the credo of Amber Rose. Follow the credo of Karine Steffens. Sure, they were married, but they weren't married for a while. No, because again, they insisted on being women who advocated for sexual freedom. And if that's the case, then no man wants to be associated with that. I'm sorry, they don't. Let's continue.
Because I'm 30 and I'm single out of a situation that actually is not because I was a hoe and I was doing whatever. You can't call me that. I made a decision to be with somebody that hurt me long. I stayed for 5 years. I came out super late. And do you know what I realized? What I learned is that I know now that I have to be selective and I have to pick. If me taking longer to get to that stage is what it takes, then that's what it takes. You accept your future, you accept everything with gratitude, because as long as you're breathing, that's the most important thing. At least you've called your child. I am not afraid because I know the quality of woman that I am. I know my value regardless of whether I'm 30, 40, 50. Do you understand? So you don't be afraid by other people's time limits and limitations and all of these things, because it actually doesn't matter. And I'll tell you why.
No, but your value goes down to
no, that's according to you.
No, but I'm saying to men, and you have to understand.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because since Mr. Andrew Tate explained something about status, I understand very well what that that actually means, and as a woman, I take the value that I hold for myself.
Sorry about that, guys. Just give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Do you know what I'm doing downstairs? Do you know what I'm doing downstairs? Do you know what I'm doing downstairs? Not only here, you, everybody. I hear everybody downstairs. Please, I beg you, please. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. We have returned to Talk Talk Live here. And thank you for joining me on Talk Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We are going to continue.
He's actually a kind of valuable quality. A man will appreciate the status of being to him, whether or not I'm a virgin. Because I've worked on myself to be a woman of quality and substance. I respect myself and I honor myself as such. Okay? And that is the way that you're going to actually overcome all of these bad mistakes that you've made. Because who you are right now actually will make a difference if you stick to it and if you mean it and if you've always been that way. There's always another story for everybody. It doesn't matter. You'll fine. This guy's somebody that's more emotionally mature.
You know, I would have said to you.
What are you about to say? Because you just started speaking.
I want to say.
Andrew, she said, Andrew, I want to hear. I'm really because you've been through a lot in your life. When she told me that you were going to be on and we were going to be on this panel together, I started watching a bunch of your videos, and it really was like there's so much that you have been through, which is why you have a well of wisdom, right? And the difference between me and you is that you're glorified for it, and I am burned at the stake for everything that I've been through. And it's so funny because people have always said that we were two sides of the same coin as far as like, well, if Andrew Tate gets banned, Brittany Renner should get banned because we are all about accountability and fucking truth, right? Okay? So you've been through a lot, I've been through a lot. I'm seen as used goods, you're seen as a high value man.
Yeah.
So if you're me, then what? What's next?
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's interesting you make the observation, and you are correct. That's the difference between the masculine and the feminine. It's unfair, I guess. The world's not fair, but that's the difference between the masculine and the feminine. Men are respected for going through things and surviving, and women are the complete opposite. They're shamed for going through things and surviving. If you look at women with scars on men for a reason. He's gone through something.
Your war wound.
Yeah, the war wound. Men don't want a chick covered in scars. I'll say this right now, that a woman, the more trauma she goes through, the more masculine she naturally becomes. And if you were to give me my ideal woman, I would not want her. I want her to have a hard life and a bunch of trauma. I like the idea of her having a soft, feminine life and being a soft person, and I can take care of her and protect her. Whereas, as a man, to be a good man, you need to have been through a bunch of trauma. Because if you haven't been through trauma as a man, you're a weakling. You have to have been through a bunch of shit. So the masculine and the feminine is a very interesting point there. As for, I don't know.
Just to cut it off there just for a second, and he's I'm just saying he's absolutely right here. He's absolutely right in the sense of Andrew Tate puts it bluntly to Brittany Renner, because Brittany wants life on her terms, which is fine, and she is literally saying to us all, "Hey, I've been through a lot. I've done these certain things. I've made it to a certain level of life on my back. I should be heralded for said life." It's like she went. It's like she went. It's like she wants to be rewarded for her sexual education. She's been to the school of hard knocks. She's been she's been to not only academic but sexual college, and she wants to be rewarded for the years that she has put in. However, as Andrew pointed out, there must be a difference. There must be that is the double standard in which men and women live. Men are known for their scars. Women are not. Men are known and are heralded for their scars. Women are heralded for their purity and sanctity and loyalty. So it's a case of lady that Brittany Renner herself doesn't wish to agree to. She wants to change that. She wants her sexual experience, and she said it before on earlier on yesterday's show. If you look back on Talkdtalklive, she literally said she wants to be taken seriously by a high value man, even though she has a high body count. She wants to be known for that. She wants her her sexual prowess to land her a high value man, despite her circumstances, but despite the fact that she's known as a good time girl in public, and she's written about it. But men will never take a woman, especially a man of wealth, a man of means, a man of resources, will never take that sort of woman seriously, because it doesn't raise his status, it only lowers it. And that is what's being pointed out here by Andrew Tate. He said, listen, it is a double standard, we understand that, but that's the way it is. That's the way the cookie crumbles. And something to which Brittany should have known from the start. If she didn't, and if she was willfully ignorant, or, consequentially ignorant, unfortunately that is indeed the case. But these are the rules. These are the rules to which every generation has grown to come to know. It's just that Brittany got there late. Now she wants to know how I can get it back. In my lifetime, she said she's 30, she's got a kid, she's lived her life, she's lived her gray area, she's gone through her quote unquote hoe phase. She's gone through her city girl phase, she's gone through that 304 phase. Now she wants to be redeemed by a high value man at the end of the day. She wants her looks to pay off. Unfortunately, that can't be the case. It cannot be the case. So, that is a hard truth that Brittany has come to learn and come to know. So, unfortunately, this is where we stand. This is where we are.
I don't know your history. I don't know the past, but we can just talk in generalizations.
People like me, I guess, under the same umbrella. It doesn't have to be personal.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But we'll give generalizations. One of the main reasons that men are scared of a female history is because it makes the man insecure. And scared dogs bite. So this is why men will snap or get angry quick, or they'll bring up your history. If you get an argument with them, they'll bring up your history, whatever. But a lot of it is insecurity, and it's not insecurity because the man is insecure. The women in the female paradigm in society convinces men, any man who says anything, you're insecure. It's not insecure in that way. It's insecure in a very realistic, logical way. Like I was saying earlier, she had a lot of life experience. Let's be honest. Am I the richest guy she's ever had? No. Am I the most famous guy she's ever had? No. Am I the best looking guy she's ever had? No. Like, what's keeping her here? And then part of it comes down to, well, am I second place? If she could do better, would she do better? Like, there's a whole bunch of insecurity involved. And that's where tiny things, like I know it sounds like dumb shit, tiny things about favorite car brand become more important than ever, right? It's your job as a woman, regardless of how much sexual history you've had or what guy you're with, etc. It's your job as a woman to make your man feel secure in the fact, to make him feel like a man. Like Tate was saying, make him feel like the man, no matter what he does, so that he feels like you really truly believe he's the best choice for you on the planet. That's your job to do. Now, if you've got a checkered past, that's perhaps more difficult. You need to be more tactful with it, more tactical about it. But you have to achieve the same result. You have to do the exact same thing, right? So, yeah, it's easy for me if I get a 21-year-old virgin from some village in Slovakia, and I'm multi-millionaire Andrew Tate. Of course, it's a very easy. She's never had better. She'll never get better. She's never been anywhere. Boom, boom, easy one, right? But like you said, the world's not so idealistic. The reality is that people have had relationships, etc., etc. But a man is happiest in a relationship when he feels like man in the house, and when he truly feels like you believe he's the best man that you could possibly ever get and have ever gotten. Because a man is jealous. I'll tell you something. I used to say this to girls. It's like a joke. And I used to say it's a joke. So you cheated on me before I met you. And she'd be like, what do you mean? I didn't even know you. It's like, yeah, you fucked that guy before I even knew you. You cheated on me. And they used to laugh, whatever. But that's how men think. That's the male mind. Like, I love you, and you've been fucked by who? But I didn't know you. I worthwhile because I still truly value him, despite the fact that I could do X, Y, Z. I hope that gives some clarity, but that's the answer.
So how do you know what I would have said? I would have said, well, for anybody in that situation, come off social media and just raise your child. So the person who meets you've got nothing to. Like, I never knew you. I never knew who you were because I've never heard of you before. So when I spoke to you, by the way you're saying like what's on the internet, let me say you're a nicer person than what you sound like what you perceive to be. Like you were saying, oh, that girl's got all their she's a whore, and I've heard the name, but I don't know anything about you. And I was saying that if you didn't have nothing on social media about your checkered past, and you met somebody the same way how I met you and I conversed and I got to know you, is the same way that they would.
Yeah, and it is interesting, and it's also back to the masculine and feminine, right? Because I'm all over the internet, and supposedly I'm a soft.
And Auntie raises a good point, and so is Andrew. I'm going to get to a second point in a bit, because I don't want it to run too long, because I have to get some dialogue in there. Andrew raises a good point. Andrew and also Auntie Jenny raises a very good point, in that Andrew states that in order for you to get with the man you want, you'll have to cater to his needs so successfully and make him think that he is the number one guy on the planet that he can't do without you. In other words, you have to be totally submissive to your man, totally in agreement with him, totally connected to him, cooperative with him. That's the only way this is going to happen. Now again, that dovetails into what Auntie Jenny says. Now, Auntie Jenny is turned around and says, you know what? If just by speaking to you now, you sound like a nice girl. You really do. You sound like a great girl. However, your past is it tells on you. It presupposes because of you. So basically, it prejudices you, quite simply. Your past speaks for you. So in doing that, men won't give you a chance. Men won't give you the benefit of the doubt. So what Jenny suggested is you come on social media, just get off of there, because she is a nice girl. She has rather intelligent views, and she does convey them quite clearly. However, she has this past to which now only in her all that are in her in Brittany Renner's DMs are men who want to have sexual relations with her. Unfortunately, because that's what she's known for. Once you put yourself out, and once you're good in a certain area of work, once you I can't even say it. Once you have a talent that men are known for, because again, what did Brittany Renner lead with? She led with sex. She literally led with sex. That's how she started the show. She said, men would rather have a woman who does well in bed than a woman who cooks. Men would much rather have a woman who is great in bed than great in the kitchen and takes care of their man in that way. And again, Andrew shut that down, saying that doesn't add to my statements. I see that disgusting. That's the wrong way to go about things. Wrong way. So we are at a crossroads where Brittany has to make a decision. Simply put, can she step away from social media and make a name for herself, make a name for herself and to her men by just basically having a man, judge her on her character rather than on her Instagram stories and on her book? And can she make that man feel special as any man can be, and make him feel that there's no one else on earth she'd rather be with than that man? Those are bridges that Brittany will have to cross, quite simply. Unfortunately, she's so well known, those are going to be very difficult bridges to cross now. We continue.
I need all this crap, right? But if I meet a girl, even if she disagrees with me, in fact, I'll say this, I've never ever met a single female who's ever come up to me and disagreed with me. Every woman comes up to me and loves what I said. But let's imagine I met this imaginary girl, she was sitting. And if I were to have a 10-minute conversation with her, by the time I explained the level to which they tried to destroy me, how they tried to freeze all my bank accounts, raise illegal charges against me, put me in jail for things I didn't do, put a travel ban, take my passport, all this garbage. By the time I explain how hard they tried to hurt me and failed, she'll want me. And she'll be like, you can't kill this guy. And that's it. I'm like, you say a bunch of shit I don't like, but you know what? You're the man. So it is about experience, and it is different. And that's a really good point about social media. Social media amplifies all of this. It amplifies all these problems. Everything we're discussing, everything we've discussed back to the beginning, from status to promiscuity to your past, it's all social media. Without social media, a lot of it goes away.
And I think that's why me and my man love so long, is that he doesn't do social media, and there's nothing on there about me.
I feel like, to answer your question too, because I have had people say that as a solution, and it's like, you can run, but you cannot hide from the truth. And I have shared why my voice has been so impactful and will continue to be impactful.
Now, again, let me stop her there. They're offering her a solution, but she is such a drug. Social media is such a drug in her system. Because this is an alternative, and maybe this is the faster way to getting a high-value man she wants. However, fame, notoriety is such a drug to Brittany Renner that she would rather suffer the travails of being in that life, having social media speak for her, than to close it down and start all over again and try to make a new life for herself, because she knows no other way. She literally knows no other way. She's addicted to fame. She's addicted to notoriety. She's addicted to the gram. So now she's going to start explaining, oh, my voice is so impactful, this is my that. No, it's because she knows that's the only life she knows, and that's the only life she likes. She can't see it any other way. And she'd rather be the hoe than be the housewife. She'd rather do it. Unfortunately. She'd rather be the hoe than the housewife. Because to her, that is the one way that she feels known, loved, revered, and noted in society. That's the only way. Watch, she's going to explain now.
Because I have put myself out there and I have been punished for being honest. So it's like, I have been given a platform and a voice for a reason. Even sitting down in this conversation thinking there's not one person I'm probably going to agree with and probably going to want to leave, I've been called here for a reason. So it's like, I can't go against what is in my heart and what I am coded to be. And that's why I feel like it's important for me to sit here and represent people who feel like me. Because it's like, I don't even want to say that. I just feel like I don't see a lot of women under my umbrella who feel the way that I feel. I don't see opinions shared that would be worded the way that I feel. Nothing. I feel like a lot of my thoughts are very unique, and it's kind of scary because I have been through different things. I see the world in a different place, and when I even speak online, people think I'm fucking speaking Swahili.
Yeah, you are speaking Swahili. I'll stop that there for a second. You are speaking Swahili. See, you're a total contradiction in terms there, Brittany, unfortunately. I mean, you want a certain man with your notoriety. You know the rules. However, you're willing to go through hell in order to get to heaven. So therefore, you'd rather people know you as a hoe, you be an advocate for such things, and you profit from it. Because this is all about profit for her. This is her career she's talking about here. She's talking about her truth or this or that. We all know why, in particular, she's advocating for that. Because that's the only way she's going to make bread in society. The bread that she wants. The only way she's going to make money in society is to profit from her sexual exploits. To profit from her her truth, as she says. The gray area, as they say. Her whole face. That's the only way she's gonna make it out here. Same thing that happened to Amber Rose. Same thing that happened to Karine Steffens. So she said, oh, I have a new unique voice. No, your voice is not unique. Brittany. 304s All 304s have your voice. All city girls have your voice. They all do. It's just that you've rose to a certain level of notoriety because you wrote a book, because you slept with athletes and entertainers. There it is. These not, as Kevin said, athletes and entertainers aren't exactly high value men themselves because they never had to. I mean, it was just these things were given to these people because they had a certain talent. They didn't have to build a business. They didn't have to work hard in order to get to a certain place in life. So because you've had a dossier, a black book of athletes and entertainers, yes, I'm going to profit off that. And in your voice, and the thing about it is, Brittany, speaking to her in third person, you're not the only voice to which explains that. Thousands of girls are on Instagram say the same thing. Thousands do. You are thousands of women in history have done so. You know the amount of side chicks there have been there that have written books over time in history have done so. This goes back all the way to Mary Magdalene in the Bible. She was a known hoe, and again she was about to be stoned to death, but Jesus saved her. Saved her high from and so. But what you want, unfortunately, Brittany, is for a high value man to save you. Forget my past, think of my future, take in my son, and let's have at it. So I can live the life you live, because you're desperate for it. And even if you can't, Brittany's goal is indeed to put herself out there and profit from her experiences. But that's the feminist way. Have women live life on their own terms. Have women have sexual freedoms and be able to profit from it. That's the feminist way. Absolutely. Yeah. If men can be revered for their sexual exploits, women should be able to. It's all about equality, people. Now you're getting the tie in here. It's how feminism works. Feminism wants equality, equality of outcomes. If a man is revered for sexual exploits, so can a woman be. The only thing is, men didn't sign up for it. We never signed up for it. And again, Brittany so very, very desperately would like a man, a man in shining armor to come in and swoop her off her feet and save her and bring her to a life to which she so dearly wants. And you can see the jealousy that she has for a girl like Just Pearly Things who was born into money. You can see that. You can see it. So this whole thing is, this whole platform, this whole thing is just basically advertising herself. But again, such is the equality of outcomes that feminism is pushing for. We continue.
And you're making good points, and it's just, I think that regardless of whether, like, we're talking about different positions, I compare it to chess, and we're looking at different positions on the chessboard, but the rules are still the same, right? No matter how bad your position is or how good your position is, you're still trying to achieve the same objectives. And you want the man to get high status, and you want the man to feel secure in himself. And I think it's very difficult. I can only talk from the male perspective because I'm a man. It is very difficult. If I were to meet a woman who I liked very much, but she had X whatever, past whatever, my concerns would be, how do I know that I'm still the number one? How do I know I'm most important in her life, especially if I don't measure up in certain key metrics? And two, the second thing that's most scary for men is we understand that men are constantly after what we have. Like, your inboxes are all full. Like, they may not be with guys you want to reply to, but guys are still trying to get in. That's the male life. The male life is people are trying to take everything from me. And that's very scary, and you have to make your man really believe like that's impossible. If a man truly believes that nobody can take you from him, he's going to love you in a different way. You can give me two carbon copies of the same chick, but one I think might cheat in the right circumstances, and one I know no matter what would never leave me. The love I'll feel for this one is a different planet to the love I feel for this one. But they're the same person, right? Because that's every man's biggest fear, is a woman cheating or leaving. Because there's something visceral and something different about it. I know I talk things, I say men can do things and women can't, all this stuff. But like, if a woman cheats on a Like, that's what men used to fight and die over. You talk to my chick. You look at my chick. Yeah, it's like you're demasculinizing on every level. Like, and this is why you see these TikToks, right? You see these TikToks. Me and my man went on a break, got back together. He fucked 20 girls, and now he's crying because I went on a date. Yes, completely yes. Because the damage level is different. It's just a different thing. So you have to understand the paradigms. You have to understand to play the game, and that's how you make men happy. And I know very well how I like to believe. I would know very well how to make a woman happy, and I know, and whether I do that or not is a conscious decision. And that's where you get to a certain level of grand mastery, where if I get a woman, I will literally decide out of 10 how happy do I want her. Does she deserve to be happy 10, or should I keep her like crying half the time? But it's very conscious, and women don't think that way. But I'm saying, if you're if you're a cunning woman, you could be like that. You could be a bit more like, you know what? I want him infatuated with me. This guy ain't worth the time. That guy I want. And then when you're gonna do that, just like the game of chess, if you play chess, it's not big moves that make you lose. It's small positional plays. It's that time you argued about your favorite car. It's time you disagreed with him about the favorite band. It's the dumb shit that adds up. Whereas really, truthfully, if you're truly smart about the game, you can get him to a point after a few months where he's like, she's my soulmate. She loves everything I love. We think the same. Our hearts are connected. And then you're safe. Just don't fuck it up from there. That's the game.
But I just
Beautiful. Absolutely. I mean, listen, Andrew Tate, whether you love him or hate him, just taught women game about men. Just taught them game. Just taught them game. Absolute game. In the sense of this. If you cater to a man's ego, if you make him feel like he's the best man on earth, if you basically are in agreement with him, an agreement, again, is submission. Submission equals agreement. It's a synonym. It's a literal synonym. You can go online, Google it, and you'll find it. Submission equals agreement. Or if women are coachable, let's say that. If women are coachable, if women are cooperative, if women are in alignment and agreement with their men, he'll die for a woman like that. He'll die for a woman just like so. And that's what a lot of modern women don't get. They say, oh, I want to be independent. Oh, I want my own truth. Oh, I want this and this. I want to be disagreeable. No, you'll never, ever get through to the man you want by being disagreeable or to have your own mind. It doesn't work, ladies. It doesn't work. You can have what your preference is, absolutely. But be in lockstep with your man and he will die for you. Be in lockstep with your man and he will put your interests first. Men are very simple creatures. Stroke their ego and you're halfway there. Stroke their ego. Don't advocate for independence. Don't advocate for a feminist ideal. Don't be an individual. As Kevin says, be a helpmate. As the Bible says, sorry. My apologies. Be a helpmate. If you're a helpmate, then men will be there for you with protection, provision, and the 5 Ps. Do I have those 5 Ps again? Let me see if I do still. I don't know if I still do. I don't think I do. No. But the 4 Ps. Protection, provision, and a few others. But again, the main ones are protection and provision. A man will be there with protection and provision for life. He will. Especially high-value men. The men to whom Brittany Renner would only cater to. So she got game tonight. Whether she picks it up, it's game tonight. Got game on Christmas Day or when the taping was, which I think was a week before Christmas anyways. So she got game then. Whether she takes it up is her issue. But he just told her, said, listen, you cater to a man's ego, you be in agreement with him, and it's like, again, being on a chessboard. It's the small moves that put you out of things. And it's those small moves, well, they're rather big moves in the case of P.J. Washington, quite simply. I mean, her big move was like making the play of her being making the play of being, a good time girl to the athletes and entertainers, and putting it out on Instagram and writing a book about it. These are big moves, and she was played out for it. However, small moves like take yourself off of social media, small moves like being a helpmate to your man, small moves like being in agreement with him, because she's already got the fit, feminine, somewhat friendly part of things. The only parts she fails at are the cooperation, submission. And that's due to her idea of being the villain. And being the villain is all a part of being an individual and thus being feminine, unfortunately. So here we are. Whether she learned from these ideals is one thing or another, but again, it's her choice, right? Because we live in prosperous times. Let us continue.
I feel like it's so contradicting to what your overall message is, which is about truth. So it's like, if my truth, if it can be destroyed by the truth, it should be destroyed by the truth. So that's what I'm trying to figure out, why. It's really mind-boggling to me, because I feel like, how could you even be mentally, emotionally, sexually stimulated by a woman who is just agreeable and, it just doesn't have her own mind? I just don't see that.
That is exactly what every man wants. We don't want you to be complete robots. We're not saying we can't have a joke with you. We can't say you can't have a laugh with you. We're not saying you can't have a personality. When it comes to things like agreement, there is not a single man in the world who's going to say she's too agreeable. She just agrees with me on it. She agrees with me on all the important things in my life. She's too agreeable. I want someone else. Fuck no. You're completely and utterly wrong on that point. It's a huge point. This idea that, I understand that you're a complete doormat and you set no standards, men might walk all over you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about agreeability and agreeableness as a whole. Men love the idea of an agreeable woman because it gives status and it makes the man feel like he's a teacher, it makes the man feel in charge, and it satisfies his ego. And to you, they may be small little tiny points, but to him they're a big deal. If I were to sit, I'm telling you right now, if I were to sit with one of my chicks or whatever, my chick, and I would sit in the Lambo and say, Lambo's the best car of all of my preferred Lambo. She goes, I don't like that one. I'm like, listen, I bought them all, and I fucking said she's the best one. Shut up. And it would annoy me because that's my reality. I want her to become part of my reality. It's the thing. If you talk about truth, it's interesting because the truth of your heart, the truth of your soul is to be happy. That's truth. Truth is for you to end up happy. Now, you have to sit there and agree on especially on a subject you don't give a fuck about, right? If it's something you care about and you are very knowledgeable about, if it's ancient Roman history and you have a degree in ancient Rome, then fine, argue the point. But if it's cars or something you don't even give a shit about, you're missing the chance to get points on the scoreboard, an easy free throw, and you're just fucking it up, going, no. Why? The truth is just play the game and win.
Andrew could be the best female dating.
Just learn a couple of words, like how many horsepower. Just put some words in, like how much horsepower has it got?
Okay, see, this is what I'm saying. Let me get back to Andrew. I'm going to focus back on him again. Game for women. Everybody says Andrew Tate's a hater. But it's more game for women. How do you win submission? Again, nothing greater can be said from this podcast than this. Feminism allows for disagreement. Being an individual. Being your own person. Being your own woman. Fine. But you'll throw feminism out the window if you get yourself a high value. You'll throw it out the window because you got what you wanted. But you still totally inane ideas. You throw it away simply because you want to be your own. You want to be contrarian. You want to dissent. You want to be a dissenter. You want to show that you're an individual. Oh, I've got my own mind. I want to do my own thing, and this is what. So I'm going to disagree with you, and this is what I want. And you have to respect. No, men see that as a headache, a total, utter, complete headache. With you disagreeing with them on so many subjects all the time, it's a headache, and men don't want. And the man you truly want won't. They won't. They don't want that hell, especially in times in which marriage is a bad deal for men. You're only making it worse by being disagreeable to them. Only making it worse. So why? Why do you do it? You got to ask yourself that. Just to be an individual? Just to be a feminist? Just to let him know that you have your own mind? No team wants a player who wants to play for the other side. You understand what I'm saying? No team wants a player who wants to play for the other side, the other team. And you're doing that by discussing your truth, right? And Andrew says it right. Unless you are a expert in a certain area, then you can have your own mind because you have facts to back it up. But for you just to disagree because you are a woman and you want to hear yourself roar, it makes no sense. It clearly makes no sense. It makes no sense. Why? Why? Especially to the man you want. Not necessarily to every man, but especially to the man you really want. Why disagree? Makes no sense. Andrew Tate giving women game. Well, disregarded because he hates women, right? Yeah, he truly hates women. He's giving them game, but he hates women. You gotta think about that. Feminists gotta think about that. The Matrix, well, I wouldn't say the Matrix. The powers that be have to think about that. He's helping women out here, yet he's seen as a nuisance, as a man that must be stopped. A menace. A dissentry voice in popular culture. A dissenting voice in popular culture. Let me say that. That's a better way. Why? I don't understand. Anyways, we continue.
Tate, with all due respect, not all men are like that. Some men respect a woman that has her own mind. I know you and the type of men that you're speaking on behalf of,
Let me tell you something.
like a woman that
I understand.
will just be so agreeable to everything he says. Like, I've dated men that just respect that I can make decisions. That will actually
Submissive women have their own.
Please, ladies, please. Do not be this girl. Please, for the love of Christ, I beg of you. I beg of you. Do not be this lady. Do not. You will end a relationship with the man you want quicker than you can say quit. She's a contrarian to a fault. She will end the relationship just because she wants her voice heard. We can hear your voice all the time. But just to be in the center for no other reason than to hear your voice say, I'm an individual, it makes no sense. And you know what? We'd rather wash our hands of a woman like her. Wash our hands of her. Wash our hands. She is grating. Let her continue.
Mind.
Yeah, completely. That's
There's sometimes that he might be discussing stuff that he might want to be discussed, and there's sometimes we're like, shut the fuck up and let me say what I've got to say.
Yes.
And maybe I don't even believe in star sign, but my man's Sagittarius, so I all this illogical stuff and feelings and emotions, and no, you don't cry about shit.
Society and of you. You may think you don't expect that of me, but if you're walking down through London in the middle of the night and two guys come up with machetes, you're going to hide behind me, knowing I'm going to die, because I can't win this fight. I'm expected to die to protect you. Well, then I expect you to agree with me. I'm not here to fucking die for somebody who disagrees with me on everything. That's not what I'm here to fucking... If I have that obligation to die on the spot for you, you have the obligation to pretend you like BMWs. So do your fucking part and shut up. And that's the bottom line.
And you know the difference is, the only difference, like he's top G, and I say, the only difference between him and my man and the level of respect is money. That's the only difference. And this is the same way he talks, the same way he talks to reason. No, I know.
No, I think money is a big factor.
It's not.
Because you can't have a woman that's paying her own bills, she's doing everything for herself, and then you're gonna tell her,
Of course, but I'm
oh,
saying...
do this, but you're different.
You don't work
She doesn't need to work. You take all that stress away from her.
I don't work.
Then she'll be a lot more free.
See, here's the thing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it ceases to desist, ceases to have the bubble burst. Will keep raising their prices, raising their stakes to a point where men say, in order for a woman to agree with them. If not, they're totally contrary. You basically have to earn $100,000 or more. Let's put a price on it. To obtain a woman's submission to you, agreement with you, cooperation with you, you basically have to earn yourself $100,000 a year. If not, you're on the clock, and you're only given a certain amount of time in which to exist. With a lot of women, including my lady here. She's literally telling you the only way that I can give a man my submission is, link it back. Think about it. Women, the women's movement, women having their own voice. Not to say that they shouldn't. But with that, a byproduct of that is women raising the price for their submission. That's a total byproduct of it. And women having their own choices. So therefore, they're raising the price of their submission, raising the price for their cooperation. To a point where men don't want to deal with these ladies anymore, because once you get their cooperation, it may be a point where they may take it all, take the hang it. You should be happy that these men aren't in your life. You should be. And this is all tied back to feminism, to the women's movement, to women having their own voice, which is fine, which is totally fine. But don't hate men for making for selecting an alternative. Don't hate men for being more cautious about marriage, about the institution of marriage. Don't hate them for it. Especially when the chips are stacked against them.
Why does money have to matter for submission?
That's what I don't want. If you have enough money to make sure that she doesn't need to work, go and deal with her boss every day, all the stress, all these bills, then of course she's going to look up to you and be like, oh, okay, you pays my bills. You know, my man's only like 40,000. I don't work.
I'm like, you know, so I grew up in a 1% family. I never expected a dude to pay for everything. I don't know.
I don't.
And I still think, like, and both of my parents worked, but my mom still submitted to my dad. Like, it wasn't.
The point is this: in every relationship that's beautiful, every relationship that's happy, regardless of the socio-economic scale, regardless of how rich or poor they are, regardless of how famous they are.
Back live. Thank you for joining me on Talk Live. Like, subscribe. So bear. Let me see if that works out. But yes, you find as feminism grows, patience with women tends to shorten, especially with their men, because they want to rule the household. And as Andrew Tate said himself, women tend to women who are head of household, those marriages tend to fail because it's come to a point where men need to be the breadwinners, and if they aren't big enough breadwinners, then they tend those marriages tend to end in divorce, because women do not have the respect for men that they used to once they were dating. So we are at a stage where the question must be asked of modern women. A question must be asked: can you indeed be submissive / in agreement with your men? Can you be coachable to your men? Can you be? Can you be cooperative with your men? Or is it on a time bomb? Or is it destined for disaster? That is the question. That is the issue that remains. It is. And we must seem to sort it out and to solve it. And again, I think Andrew Tate asked for some hard truths here. We do. So again, this is a night, and I think this is the last concept that we were discussing today. This is a night because, again, we've covered we've covered different subjects in this partition, in which how Andrew Tate took feminists to school, or own feminism, in the fact that, again, male status favors traditional roles over sexual liberation. Loyalty over promiscuity. Developed world feminism needs men to survive. Life is harder for men, therefore, if a man reaches a certain level of life, then they have a right to explore options. How feminists created a post-marriage society and how women can correct it. So feminists have basically raised the stakes in terms of divorce, because they will not dare settle for a man who may earn less than them, or may not settle for men that or may not settle for men that are average or earn less than them. And if that's the case, then greater chances of divorce. When feminism breaks down, in times of in times of strife, in times of bleak, in times of turmoil. But in times of prosperity, as it has been for the last 40, 50, 60 years, feminism is allowed to thrive. But if not, then feminism breaks down and people fall into traditional roles to which they have been accustomed over time, over many years. Because again, life is not as nasty, brutish, and short as it once was. And he's right. And finally, sexual freedom of how feminism can't be reversed in the eyes of men. Men have never signed up to that. Men have never allowed for hoes to be housewives because it drives down status. Status is everything here. Always has been, always will be, and we're at a point now where we have a woman like Brittany Weber coming to the stage, coming to the pop culture, and asking men to accept her for who she is. Men will never accept her for who she is. They'll accept her for the sexual favors she can provide, but they'll never accept her for who she literally is. She wants to be, because again, she won't humble herself because she wants a high value man, and that's all she can be seen. That is the only person that she can be seen with. So she'd rather be a single mom and alone than not have her needs met financially. Which is a shame, because most high value men don't want to be around her because they drive down their status. They read the whole facts. They see the book. They see the Instagram messages, which she refuses to take down because she wants to be a paragon, that the poster child that sexual proclivities pay, that being a hoe is life. And this is where we stand. This is where we are. So again, Andrew Tate did a number on all feminist ideals, and quite simply, he made things he put out things so eloquently that the women here, if you ever go to the after party of this Just Pearly Things show, you'd see they see him as being charismatic, as being eloquent, as being erudite, and being straightforward in his views, and that they can, and being friendly, and being quite candid, and being and just being a great guy. Let's face facts here. He's being seen to be a great guy, guys. Despite the fact that he has traditional roles and traditional views, but he puts it out in such a way that it makes him, let's face facts, irresistible to women, because he's successful. And as we all know, irresistibility always starts with money with ladies, especially and the resources that one have. So this is where we lie. So part 2 is now done. So we're going to end it tonight here on Talk Talk Live. Thank you for joining me on Talk Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 8,000 subscribers. We have part 3 coming up. I'm going to think about doing it tomorrow. Stay tuned. Oh, it's just a few other things. So, well, actually a few other points that we can point out. I think we can do it out tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll have a special Friday episode because I owe you 3 days this week. So we have a special Friday episode of Talk Talk Live in which Andrew Tate takes on modern women takes on modern women and modern day relationships. There's a third side to this story, and then we can break and that'll be the last show for 2022, which has been a journey in and of itself. Thank you for joining me tonight on Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. Thank you for your patience, especially with this internet access tonight. It's decided to play out with me. Yesterday, not a hint of trouble, over 3 hours. But tonight was the night when it decided the internet decided to act up, and that has to be fixed in the new year. So thank you for joining me on Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're getting our subscribers up, which is fantastic. But we are looking for more. So again, tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend. Super thanks. Say hello. Comment down below in the show, or on the show in and of itself when I post it up on YouTube. I very much doubt we'll get the YouTube episode because I think it's still in. Go back to my full cam here. It's still trying to reconnect, so I think we will not have a YouTube broadcast of the show, unfortunately, not like we did yesterday, but we will have it available on Instagram, the IG version. I was in the next couple days. I want to get everything out. There are a few shows that I'm missing, so we'll get this out within the next couple days so that by New Year's, all the shows will be up to date, which is, that is the goal, that is the key. So again, thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And we'll see you tomorrow, 8 p.m. Or let me see if I can get in a little earlier tomorrow, maybe 7, because it is Friday. So maybe we'll see. But I don't want to have it too late. But I'll see about getting it back at 7 or 8 o'clock because, again, it is Friday and we have New Year's Eve plans. I wonder what your New Year's Eve plans are tomorrow. I have yet to decide what my New Year's Eve plans are, but I will in due course, indeed. I have a few ideas, but have not nailed one yet. So let me know what you think, what you guys are going to do for New Year's Eve in yourselves. And I know a lot of people are heading out since it is the first day back from after COVID. So we are allowed, full. We are allowed. Sorry. Well, what happened there? We are allowed. Full access. That didn't go well, did it? Oh God. There we go. Right in my eye. We're allowed full access these days. So again, whatever you do, be safe out there. And hope you have a good time. If we don't hear from you on the next Talk Live, we'll hear from you in 2022, which will get bigger and better by the day. So thank you very much for joining me, Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I'll leave it there, as it is 10 o'clock, and we'll see you tomorrow with another show of the same ilk, a shorter show, and look forward to speaking to you then. A special Friday episode of part 3 of of the Just Pearly Things, Brittany Renner, Andrew Tate collab, and how Andrew Tate took on modern women and modern dating and relationships. Which he has some candid views on these things, and I think they're very, very well viewed. Again, breaking news from today is that Andrew Tate has indeed been arrested for human trafficking, and he is going through the process now. But again, we'll wait to see what the courts say about his the charges of human trafficking, but also whether indeed it is a ploy by the powers that be to shut his ideas down, because they are dangerous to feminism in and of itself. So we await the court's views on the subject and his due process in court. So thank you for joining me on Talk Live. Thank you very much, and we'll speak to you very, very soon. Speak to you tomorrow, 8 o'clock, for part 3 of this show. The last show for 2022. All right? Thanks very much. We're going to get out of here on Instagram. If you talk, walk the walk. We'll see you soon. Sponsored by Duntalk, DUNTALK.com, DUNTALK.com. like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Good night.